Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the story that will not go away. In the last week, maybe the last 2 weeks, there's been stories about, reasons why Alberto Del Rio is thinking of a return to WWE. There's reasons why Alberto Del Rio is not going to be returning to WWE, but it seems like a ping pong game. The ball just keeps getting shot back and forth about a rumor that will not go away. The story about this basically is that it says Alberto Del Rio's status with Lucha Underground is up in the air. He has not re-signed a deal to go back to work for Lucha Underground in season number 2, where he is a big star down in Mexico, and this is a way to get exposure in the United States as being one of the main guys. There's been stories about TNA making a play trying to sign Alberto Del Rio, but during this little part of the section, it says that Del Rio, in order to go work for TNA, would have to be released from his Lucha Underground contract, which, if you go back to last year with the story of Hernandez, where basically he was, under contract to Lucha Underground, but had asked for his release, used this to go to TNA. TNA ended up using him, booking him on all the television, and then Lucha Underground coming to TNA saying, hey, you're using one of our contracted guys. Then TNA having to go into their television, carve out all of the segments that involved, Hernandez, and that made them just basically have these huge gaps in storylines of everything that was going down, trying to get rid of all the Hernandez footage, and it basically made it where a lot of matches that were shown were not able to be used. That sort of, tells a story that Lucha Underground still has Del Rio under contract, and that makes it where this story doesn't even really make sense about what he's going to be doing. And at the end of the story, this basically says that Triple H told Del Rio, go take some time off, air it out for about 6 months, and then we'll bring you back to WWE. Of course, the incident happened backstage where, there was an internet writer said some trash about Del Rio. Del Rio, when he confronted the internet writer, he slapped him in the face. Because of this, WWE released Del Rio. And then the worst part about it is the internet writer ended up getting in trouble of his own within, I believe, 2 weeks, and that internet writer was gone from the company. So WWE ended up getting rid of one of the main stars that they're really needing right now, because all the stories really say that, WWE is looking to have a Mexican star, but they're not able to produce one. As of right now, the only other real Mexican stars they have are the Lucha guys, which would be, the hell's their names? Kalisto and Sin Cara, the Lucha Dragons, that's their name. And, they had that short little push where they got a few wins in the tag team division, and as of right now, they're teaming with Neville, but you would think that they're going to go on this Mexico tour. You would think that you would try to incorporate them into maybe the tag title picture, but of course the Dudleys came back after SummerSlam, and maybe you have to strike while the iron is hot. As of right now, you've got the Lucha Dragons dropping matches to Kevin Owens. Maybe this is the build-up, the Lucha Dragons going up against Kevin Owens on the Mexican tour, where the Lucha Dragons always, will get their comeuppance and they'll beat the hell out of Kevin Owens. But, Del Rio was a guy that was in WWE who was a star. Not a lot of people liked him. He didn't seem like he was always that over. He was a guy that I always liked to watch him work. But if you think about, WWE trying to make him into one of the big Mexican stars, where they turned him babyface, he beat the Big Show, he won the World Heavyweight Championship. Think of how bad that run was. Maybe what they would have had to done was maybe make him, the World Heavyweight Champion, to make him as a heel, where basically, he would be like Bret Hart when Bret Hart went to Canada. He was so loved there that it turned him into a babyface, and then when he would come back to the States, it would be heel Bret Hart. Once again, maybe they would do something like that, but this is a story that I'm not putting a lot of stock in. I think that Alberto Del Rio, outside of WWE, is making a truckload of money, whether if it is, working for AAA, working for Lucha Underground, working various indies all over the place, and working matches with and against Rey Mysterio and things like that, and then sort of, butting up, being two big stars and sort of following each other around. As of right now, he's either the number 1 or the number 2 guy in AAA outside of WWE, and they treat him right. As of right now, the money's coming in. I don't see him crawling back to WWE. I don't think it's a CM Punk situation where I would slam the door and say there's never a chance of him coming back. But I do think that as of right now, it doesn't make sense for Alberto Del Rio to return to WWE.